Hey guys, it's Nitin here with the Ultimate Ebook Creator, and in this video I'm going to show you step by step how to create a recipe book using the Ultimate Ebook Creator. Now this is not a sales pitch type of video. I really don't do those kind of videos because frankly I don't know how to do them, and to be honest, I'd rather let the software talk for itself. So with that said, let's just get started. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to create a recipe book, and this is really a fictitious recipe book. Okay, this is not a real recipe book. My wife does have recipe books on the Amazon KDP, or the Kindle Direct Publishing platform, but this one I've just made up, and I've dedicated to my wife, whose name is Prabha. So I'm going to call this the Prabha's recipe book. Okay. Now the other thing before I get started is I want to show you the fictitious final ebook on the Amazon Kindle Fire, and that's the reader that my wife is using. But this book will work nicely on the older version too. Okay, so you can use images, and of course you can use the different types of fonts. And the cool thing about the Kindle Fire is that you can use color as well. So having said that, let's jump over to the Kindle Fire, and I'll show you the kind of the final ebook that we have that we'll be creating using the Ultimate Ebook Creator. Okay. Okay, so here we are in my wife's Kindle Fire, and we're looking at the books, and here is the book, and it's called Prabha's Cooking Recipes, and this is the book we're going to create from scratch. Okay, now all we need to do is basically click on the book with your finger, and I'm just going to go to the beginning of the book. Okay, so here is the cover page, and it says Prabha's Cooking Recipes, and we can slide to the first page, which is your copyright, and we're going to create this copyright. But this is your copyright page. You can have this page or you don't have to have this page, but it's always a good idea to have the page. And we'll go to the table of contents. Now the Ultimate Ebook Creator actually allows you to create this content like this, so all the chapters and the sections within the chapters are clickable. So for example, when it says breakfast, that is a chapter, and anything under a chapter is what I call a section. And the Ultimate Ebook Creator enables you to create the chapter and sections, and they're automatically clickable, so you can go to the various you can jump to the various sections automatically. So for example, if we want to jump to the grilled stuffed portobello mushroom caps, we just click on that and it takes you straight there. So that's totally built into the book. Now let me just go back, and the other way obviously is to slide your finger across. So here's our chapter, and we can actually add some text into the chapter so it doesn't look blank, so it's like a chapter introduction, and I'll show you how to do that in the demo. And then we've got our first recipe, which is the scrambled eggs, and we can even color and make the titles bold, and we can put bullet points for the items in the ingredients, and then the preparation. So as you can see, that the formatting is really nicely done. It's using an Arial font, which is the recommended font for the Kindle, and the point size should be 12, which is the default setting in the Ultimate Ebook Creator. Okay, so we've got this, and here you are. We have the preparation. Here are the mushrooms, and then it just goes on, and now you've got your one of my favorite recipes is the chicken tikka masala. So that's why I've included that in the recipe. So here's your chicken tikka masala, and then we move on to the desserts, and we've got the chocolate chip cookies going on here. And honestly, this is just a very quick book, just to demonstrate that the Ultimate Ebook Creator is capable of creating this book, and so simply that it's gonna blow you away. Okay, so Now that I've shown you the demo, I'm also going to show you at the end of the demo how I actually upload the book into this Kindle Fire. So that's coming at the end, so stick around. And now let's get back to our computer and I'll show you exactly how this is created. Okay, so let's get started in creating our recipe book. Now when you run the Ultimate Ebook Creator, this is the main screen that shows up. The screen is split up into two areas, what I call the left navigation and then the right hand side, which is the detail screen. And on the left hand side you see the various items. So for example, we have the book information and we'll be filling this in for the book. We have the cover page, we have the title page, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start adding our chapters and sections. And this table of contents is really just a view, like a read-only view, and it gives you an idea of what your table of contents is going to look like. Okay, so we'll start with the book information. Now I'm going to be creating a recipe book which is called Prabha's recipe book. Okay, so in order to keep this demonstration really short and to the point, what I've done is I've pre-prepared a text file with all the content that I'm going to put into the book. Now a lot of people were asking me this question in my previous video. I did create an earlier video and this is actually a revised video, and one of the questions that keeps on coming up is that do I keep a separate notepad with all my content and then I just cut and paste or copy and paste into the Ultimate Ebook Creator? And the answer to that is no, absolutely not. You don't need to do that. It was just during the demonstration I did that because I don't want to be typing all that content in, which would take me literally, like it would make the video quite long. So in order to keep the video short, I've just pre-prepared the text and the content, okay? And I'm just going to be copying and pasting that in. But in real life, obviously, you are going to use the full features of this product, which has a built-in editor, and you can use that editor to basically, just like Word, Microsoft Word, you can type in your text, you can highlight and create bold font and italicize and color it, and you'll see that as we go along. Okay, so having said that, let's get on with the book. So the first thing I would do is I would fill out the book's information. Now this is the meta information that is embedded within the file that's generated. So the MOBI or the EPUB file will have this information, what we call the meta information. So the book's title is going to be Prabha's Cooking Recipes, and for the description we're going to put in this for the description. Now the description is really important for SEO purposes. Now if you don't understand what SEO stands for, well, it stands for search engine optimization. And if you don't understand what search engine optimization is, I would highly recommend that you go to Google and just type in search engine optimization or SEO tutorial. That will teach you all about how to create compelling descriptions which are SEO friendly. And SEO is nothing but creating your description so that the search engines can find it and therefore people can find your book. Okay, so make sure that you think about your description and make it search engine optimization friendly. Now for the language, it defaults to English US, but if you click this button here, there's a whole bunch of other languages that you can choose from. So for example, if you wanted to create something in, say, Spanish, right, then you can click that and you can click OK, and then it would basically replace this. Now if you don't see the language that in here that of your choice, you can always just type it in. So you can remove this and you can type in whatever you want. Okay, so let's undo that and move on. So for the author, I'm just going to type in Prabha Mystery, and I'm going to copy and paste that for the publisher as well. Now I'm just going to leave the published date, but obviously you can set any date you require. And now we come to the keywords. Okay, so once again, think really carefully about your keywords. They are very important and they do lend themselves to SEO. So think about the keywords, and in this instance these are the 4 keywords that I've chosen. Now each keyword should be on its own line, so just make sure that you do that, and we'll move on. So okay, at this point, another confusing thing that I found a lot of people asking me is that, like, how do I save my book? Well, you should save this as a project, and what you need to do is basically go File, Save, and what we're going to do is we're going to save this book as let me just create a new chapter here. Okay, so I'll just call it Test. So in this folder I'm just going to call it Prabha's cookbook, right? And by default the extension will be UEC. So this is an ultimate ebook creator project file. Okay, so this is not the output file. The output generated file for the Kindle or the Barnes & Noble will have a different extension. For example, the Kindle will have a .mobi or a .mobi format, and the Barnes & Noble will have an EPUB format. But we'll get to that when we generate or export the book. Okay, so we are going to save this work under Prabha's cookbook as a UEC file, which is the project file. Okay, and then this dialog simply says that okay, the ebook was saved in this folder and saved OK. We'll click OK and we'll carry on. The next thing is the cover page. So for the cover page we need a nice image. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've created my own image, which hopefully I can find. Okay, let me see if I can find it under demo, recipe book. Okay, so here we have the. Now I've created this image or this ebook cover using GIMP, and GIMP is a freely available graphics package, just like Photoshop. It's got almost all the features of Photoshop, but enough for you to create your own ebook cover. And I've created this cover using GIMP, and I'm also going to include a whole bunch of GIMP video tutorials which teach you how to use GIMP. Okay, so that's part of this package, and you'll get them for free as well. So I've just taken this photograph that I took in Amalfi in Italy, and this is my lovely wife Prabha. So this is called Prabha's Cooking Recipes. Okay, so here's your book. Now for the size of the image, Amazon is changing this requirement all the time, and of this recording the requirements are that you can create any image from 1000 to 2500 pixel on the longest side, so on this side. So if you've got an image that big, then it's going to render really nicely on the Kindle reader. Okay, so mine is a little bit bigger than that, but it's fine. Okay, so that's your cover page, and what I tend to do is I just tend to save all the stuff that I do. So if I make a little change, I'll save it. And now we'll move on to the title page. Now the title page has got the copyright information and things like that, and what I've done is I have given you a very simple template that you can totally delete and put your own stuff in there, or you can just kind of modify this. So here we need the author's name, so I'm going to put Prabha Mystery, and for example here we'd obviously put the correct information. Now for the link, what I want to do is I want to delete this link because it actually will not work, and I want to show you the correct way of creating a web link using the Ultimate Ebook Creator, and this is one of the new features that I've added. So before I do that, let me just justify this in the middle like this, and we're going to create a link to let's say Prabha's website here. So I'll put my cursor where I want my link, and then I'll right click, and then I'll say insert web link. And in this dialog we have two text boxes. The first one is the display text. Now this is the friendly text that shows up underlined so you can click it. So this is the clickable text portion, and this is the underlying URL or the web address. So for this I would put I'll just say visit my website, and then here I will put prabhamistry.com, and I'll click OK. Now this looks pretty funny. It's actually a funny looking link, and the reason for that is that this is actually a special tag, and this tag is going to be rendered correctly during the export process. Okay, so don't worry too much about how this looks. This is the way it looks. This is a special format that I hold, and then when I convert this into the real link, as you'll see later on, everything will work out nicely. Okay, if you want to edit this, as you can see, if you try to press a button on top of this, it won't let you delete it. So if you want to edit this, you can right click right anywhere inside this this special tag. You put your cursor, and then you right click, and then you say edit web link, and then once again you can change this, you can change this, etc. Now if you wanted to delete it, all you do is basically once again right click on top of the special link and then select delete. And you can even browse. So if you want to test this link out, you can click browse, and it's going to open your default browser and take you directly to the URL. So you can test it without generating the book if you'd like. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, which is the meat of the book. So now that we've input all the necessary preliminary information about the book, we're actually going to start creating the book, and the way we do that is by adding chapters and sections. Okay, so let's do that next. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a chapter called breakfast. Okay, so what we do is anywhere in this white area you can right click and you can say add a chapter. Now when you add a chapter, what it's going to do is it's going to put a heading for the chapter, and then you can add your contents. Okay, so this dialog is really telling you to enter the chapter's heading. So I'm going to call this breakfast. Now here a lot of people started asking me that I can't, in my previous version you couldn't format the heading of the chapter. So now what I've done is I've created this text editor. Once again, it's the same one that appears here, and now you can format this to your heart content. So a lot of people like it center justified, a lot of people like it left, some people even like it right. I wouldn't know why, but some do, and that's fine. So what I would do is I would make my chapter header, I would bold it. I normally pick Arial black, and I will make it around 14 in size. Okay, so this is my chapter. Now in another release, in the next release or in a future release, I'm going to allow you to save this formatting as a style, and then you can select the same style for all the headers, but I haven't had the time to do that, but it's coming. And remember, all future updates are absolutely free, so everything I add into the product, I'll send you a new release when I have one. Okay, so this one's done. You can actually create a second sub chapter title if you want, but I don't recommend that. So just keep the one line and click OK. Alright, so this is showing you that this chapter's title or header is going to be called breakfast, and then here we're gonna start typing in our breakfast information. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just going to take some information that I have here, and I'm going to just paste it in there. So for the not this bit, of course. Okay, so I have this. Now here's another thing that you may want to do. You may want to actually indent this to the right a little bit. So the way you do that is just put your cursor anywhere within the paragraph, and then you click this indent right icon like this, and it will indent it to the right every time you click it. If you click this, and it'll indent back. Another thing you can do is you can do hanging indents. So with that cursor placed on the paragraph, you can click this, and what happens is the second line and subsequent lines are indented, but the top line is kept where it is. Okay, some people like that, some people don't. So anyway, and the third way to do this is that some people actually want to put a tab on the first line like this. So you've got this this kind of formatting happening. So you can do all of them. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, like this, and we'll move on. So for the breakfast, we've typed in some breakfast blurb for the chapter, and now what we're going to do is under the chapter we're going to create our first recipe as a section. So you click on the breakfast, which is a chapter, right click and say add chapter section. Once again, we can type in scrambled eggs. Now if I have any typos, I do apologize, but I'm not going to make a lot of I'm not going to check the spelling and all that, because once again this is really a fictitious book and it's a demo, so I want to just get along with it. Okay, so I'm going to go Arial Black. I believe I picked, is it 6? I think it was 14, can't remember. Anyway, we do that and we click OK. So that's our chapter section. And now at any point, if you want to actually see what the table of contents is going to look like, we click on the table of contents and we can see that this is it's shaping up. Okay, so for the scrambled eggs, what we're going to do is we are going to insert an image first. So there are two ways of inserting an image. The first one is to click this icon. So you place your cursor anywhere you want the image to be, and you click this icon, and now you're going to pick, so I'm going to pick this scrambled eggs image. Okay, and now I'm going to type in the recipe for the scrambled eggs. Of course I'm not going to type all this in. Like I said, once again, just to keep things short and sweet, I've just prepared a document and I've cut and copy and paste. Now there's a few things you can do. So for example here, let's make the ingredients a little bit bolder, and maybe we'll add a color to it. So here we're going to make it like a maroon color, so it just stands out. And now if you want to mess around with the font to maybe make it 14 or something like that and bold, then you can do that. Okay, so that is the ingredients, and then this will be the preparation. So we'll put preparation, and once again we can bold it, we can change the color to maroon, and we can make it 16 or something like that, right? I think it was 14 actually. Don't know why it keeps on losing the bold, but anyway. Okay, and okay, so here we have the recipe. Now there's one more thing you may want to do, and that is to bullet point these ingredients. So what you need to do is highlight them, and then we'll choose this bullet icon here and we'll click. Now if you want to control the spacing between the bullets, then you can just adjust this value here. So you can say 10, and it will make it smaller. So you do have a bit of control as to the space between the bullet and the actual text by manipulating this value here. Okay, so that is the breakfast. Now the next recipe we will add is going to be the grilled stuffed portobello mushrooms. Okay, and once again that's a recipe, so let me show you another feature, and that is to click on the section and then you right click and you say insert section, which will insert a section after the scrambled eggs, or you can say insert section before. So we want to insert a section afterwards, so we'll just say insert section. Let's just type this in. I don't know why it keeps on saying that. Okay, and once again we are going to go for Arial Black, and we're going to choose 14 and click OK. So that's the second recipe. Now we're going to get the mushroom recipe from our first of all we need an image. Okay, so this is the second way to add an image. The first one was using the icon. The second is to right click on the editor and then select insert image. So we are going to pick, and now we are going to enter all the ingredients and also the direction. Well, we call it preparation, so let's preparation. We'll just stick to the word preparation and ingredients here. So once again we're going to bold, we're going to maroon the title, and we're going to select 14, and the same thing 14. We're going to bold and we're going to maroon it. Okay, and we are going to bullet point this as well. So here's our ingredients. Now the other thing I'd like to do here is, you know, this text is in quotes, and typically quotes go as italicized, so I'm just going to italicize this and maybe bold it so it looks nice. Okay, and let's change the Arial. I mean, now Amazon actually recommends that you keep your font and the size to Arial and 12 as of this video, that is, and the reason is that some of the Kindle readers, the older one, may not be able to handle the different fonts. So if you keep it at the standard font, it might be the best idea. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select a different font for this. I'm just gonna call it, I think I saw this, there's a nice one like Comic. Yeah, this is a nice one. Alright, so I chose Comic, and footnotes, once again you can say 14. You can go to Arial again, and we can make it maroon, right, like this, and here's your footnotes. Okay, so that is the recipe for the mushrooms. Now what is next? Let's see. I'm just actually looking at some of my notes. So the next is the main meal. So we're going to create a chapter called main meals. Okay, and once again we'll highlight, we'll make this Arial Black 14, and we'll click OK. Alright, now if we go to the table of contents, you can see it kind of taking shape. So we have a chapter called breakfast, which is clickable, and then we have 2 recipes which are sections under the breakfast. Now all these things will appear in the table of contents, and they will be clickable, so you can jump to the various sections or chapters as you need to. Okay, so let's go back to our main meal, and in here we are going to put some blurb. For example, these are just a few of my favorite dinner recipes. Okay, please try them out and enjoy. Okay. Okay, so that's for the main meal, and then we're going to create a section under there called chicken tikka masala, which happens to be my favorite chicken recipe. It truly is amazing, and I love chicken tikka masala. Okay, so that's chicken tikka masala, and paste. And we did forget the image, so let me just insert the image again. Where is, oh yeah, chicken tikka masala. Okay, so here's the chicken tikka masala. The next recipe is going to be chicken fajitas with onions, sweet pepper, green onions. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Oh yeah. So we'll create another section. Now another way to create a section is to click on the main meal and then just say add section. And that will actually add a section right under the last section within that chapter. Okay, so that is done. Click OK, and I'm gonna add an image of chicken fajitas if I can find it. Yep, is the chicken fajitas, and we are going to add the ingredients. So you can see that I'm slowly building up this book. Okay, now let me tell you one more time, because this is really important, is that I am simply cutting and pasting all the content that I have. Okay, you do not need to do this. You can create all this from scratch. You can, so you can say 2 tablespoons canola oil, right? Now obviously this looks red, so I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna choose black, and then I'm going to make it non-bold, and you get the idea, right? So you can do that too. And once again, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to apply a bullet on it. Okay, and for the preparation, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it maroon. I'm going to bold it. So there you have it. Now it's a good idea to save your book once again, so I click on the icon and I save my book. So we're now going to create the final section, which is the dessert section. So let's add a chapter again, and we'll call this desserts, which is one of my favorites. I just love desserts. I actually love desserts way too much. Anyway, we've created the dessert section, and the first thing we'll do is we'll insert a dessert photograph. So we'll insert image, and we'll insert these nice dessert images. Desserts are fun to make and eat, or something like that. Now that we added the chapter, let's go ahead and add our first recipe, which we'll call best chocolate chip cookie. Okay, so here we go. We're going to add a section, best chocolate chip cookies. Once again, we'll make it Arial Black 14. Click OK. So there we have the recipe, and we're going to insert another image. So can we see chocolate chip cookies are here, and then we can format the ingredients. So we'll do some formatting. Now if you get a stray bullet like this, we can just click right next to it and then hit your backspace, and you can remove it like that. Once again, we'll call it preparation. So you get the idea. You can quickly build up your ebook one chapter at a time, and it's a lot of fun to do, and you can do all sorts of funky things. Like, say for example, if you want to color this with a background of yellow, so you can do that. Just click that icon, this icon here, which is a font background color, and then it does things like this, right? And we can go a little bit funky, and we can change the font just to have fun. And you can always click Control Z, which is the undo, so you can do undo. And at this point we're pretty much done, so let's make sure we save our book. So click save, and we've saved the book, and the next thing is to generate the book. So what we're going to do is we're going to generate this book as a Kindle book. So go to export and then select the generate Amazon Kindle ebook. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put this book in a place where I haven't put it before. So I'm going to go here, let me create a new folder. I'll call this demo 2 so I don't get it mixed up. So we're in the Kindle demo 2 folder, and the book is going to be called prabhascookbook.mobi, and we'll click save. And this little dialog comes up saying creating ebook, please wait. So let's wait until it's done. And there you have it. So your Amazon Kindle in Mobi format has been created, and here is the path to the book. So we'll click OK, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to that path, okay? And here we have the Mobi file, okay? Now we can do one of two things. One is that we can upload this file directly into the Kindle Fire using the USB cable. So what happens is when you connect the USB cable to your Kindle Fire and then you plug it into your computer, you will actually see a folder structure just like you see here, but it will be for the Kindle Fire. It will say removable storage or something like that, and inside there's going to be a folder called books, and then inside that folder that's where you need to drag this into that folder, okay? But an easier way to preview your book is to use the Kindle desktop reader. So let me bring up Firefox. Please go to Google like I'm doing here, and then in here we're going to type in Kindle desktop reader, and see here it just shows up straight away. So Kindle desktop reader, if you type in Kindle desktop reader, the very first or second, you can use both, but I'm using this one, Kindle for PC, read book on the computer, right? So you don't need a Kindle reader. You go there, right, and you just click this download link, and remember this is for Windows 7, Vista and XP, right? So if you're a Mac user, you'll have to do something else, but anyway, my software is primarily for the PC, right? It will work on the Mac, but you will need to download the PC emulator for the Mac and use it that way. Okay, so once you've downloaded and installed this, what will happen is that every time you see a Mobi book, you'll get this icon, and all you need to do now is to double click on that icon, okay, which I'm gonna do right now. And let me bring this reader into the view. Okay, so now what we have is we have the Prabha's cooking recipes, and we have the next page, which is the title page. It says Prabha's cooking recipes, and the copyright information, and we have this visit my website. Now if you remember, this was a special tag, so the tag got rendered like this, and if you click this link, it's actually clickable. You will open up your default browser and go to the website. Okay, we won't bother doing that, you get the idea. So the next one is the table of contents. So we have the table of contents, breakfast. So if we click on that, we'll actually go to the breakfast. If we click on perfect scrambled eggs, we'll go to the perfect scrambled eggs, and so on and so forth. And here we've got the dessert, so we can go to the chocolate chip. And if we scroll down, we'll see that this is the way that the book looks. So let me just go back and I'll show you the other recipes. So chicken fajitas with onion, sweet pepper, green onions, and here are the bullets. So they came out quite nicely. This one is, as they say, this is one of the subheadings, and it's in maroon and it's bolded, right? So it's came out pretty well, I would say. And chicken tikka masala dish, and you've got your grilled mushrooms, stuffed mushrooms, and your scrambled eggs and stuff. So this is a really good way of quickly previewing your book before you upload it to Amazon Kindle. So there you have it. That's basically the video, and I am creating another video where I'll go through some of the other features of the Ultimate Ebook Creator.